Hey guys, my name is Bethany. Thank you for joining me on my video blog today. We're going to be talking today about caffeine addiction and why I got off caffeine, how I got off caffeine. I also wanted to say, this is my personal story. I know that caffeine is not a problem for everyone, but for my history of drug addiction, God was just really showing me how much of a vice it was in my life. So I wanted to just talk a little bit today about that. In the mornings, if I did not have my cup of coffee, I was a disaster. I was irritable, I would get headaches, I didn't have as fun of a day because I didn't have my cup of coffee. And I realized, I was like, this is the same as when I was on drugs. Like, I would wake up in the morning back in my drug addiction, and if I didn't have whatever drug I had, I would be a disaster. I would be irritable and grumpy. And so for me, I realized that it had become a major addiction. And I also, my amount of caffeine that I was consuming I felt like it was constantly growing. Like, my normal cup of coffee wasn't good enough. I had to make it stronger and stronger and stronger to get that same, feeling to get through the day. The other thing that I realized was that caffeine was causing some major problems in my health. The older I got, the more caffeine was giving me insomnia. I could not sleep at night. The more that I drank coffee, the more anxiety I had. Just super bad anxiety throughout the day, just about silly things, just all the time. And the third thing is I realized that when I drank coffee specifically, I would have really bad pain in my body, like neck cramps and a really bad pain in my arm, my left arm especially. I just was really sore all the time. And once I got off coffee and caffeine, a lot of the symptoms, almost all of these symptoms went away. I still have anxiety every once in a while. I have 6 children, so yes, I'm gonna have anxiety, but the level of anxiety went from here all the way down to here once I stopped drinking caffeine. Okay, so let's get into practical information. How did I get off of coffee? So first of all, like I said, it wasn't overnight. I went from, drinking a double latte at Starbucks. I would go down to half calf, and I did that for months and months and months. I would half calf myself, which was devastating. The second thing is, after that, I went down to 1 shot of espresso. Then from that, I went to half calf of the 1 shot of espresso. And then from there, I went to decaf. And so this was over a period of a couple of years that I just kind of slowly started to wean myself and need less and less caffeine. And what I found, it was kind of interesting, is that the less caffeine I drank, the more just that little bit of caffeine would affect me. I would drink a decaf coffee, and sometimes even that decaf coffee would give me insomnia at night because my body was just was cleansing from my addiction to caffeine, which I thought was interesting. But the other thing is that cocoa or cacao powder, this is something that I use a lot to help myself wean off of coffee, because in cacao there are trace amounts of caffeine. And so when I was really needing that sweet, just that warm, that moment in the morning with my cup of coffee, I would make myself a cup of hot chocolate, and I would put stevia in it, and if I had whipped cream, I would load it up with whipped cream. So that way I kind of still had that little fix in the morning, that comfort of that moment, in the mornings. And it just really kind of helped me wean off of the mentality of I need that warm cup of something in the morning to get my day going. Lastly, I wanted to go into the spiritual side of this because I have to. More than anything, God was the one who was convicting me about this vice in my life, and He was really calling me to be obedient to Him in this area. And it was something that I ignored for a really long time because I was just whatever, it's coffee, it's not a big deal, everyone drinks it. And even people would be like, Bethany, it's not a big deal, just da-da-da, but for me, it was such a heavy conviction that I know God was the one who was leading me into it. And it wasn't that, He's trying to not let me have fun or take something away from me that I love, but in the morning time, He wants me to come to Him and for Him to be my cup of coffee, so to speak. He wants me to go to Him and just be like, God, You are the one who sustains me. You are the one who gives me energy. You are the one who excites me in the morning. And that was the heart issue that God was trying to deal with inside of me, was that, Bethany, I want you to look forward to spending time with me. Guys, I don't do this perfectly. Don't get this picture that I just have everything together, because I don't. But I'm a work in progress, and it's just another thing stripped away from me in order for me to become more like him. So anyway, guys, I hope this encourages someone out there who maybe is struggling with this addiction. Please know that my heart is to share my story, that it will encourage someone else. I love you guys. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments on how I gave up coffee or questions, please just comment below. Thank you guys for joining me again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.